evening and welcome to our 9 p.m. English news brought to you live by RTD. National Assembly meeting of the fourth session of the Parliament. The World Cup Qatar 2022 threatened by the diplomatic crisis in the Gulf.
Those were the top stories, and thanks for joining us in our newsroom. After a serious study of the root causes which have affected the relations between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Egypt on the one hand, and the state of Qatar on the other hand, the government of the Republic of Djibouti officially announces that it has taken the decision to reduce the level of this diplomatic representation in Qatar. The decision of the government of Djibouti has been taken as a solidarity with the international coalition to fight against terrorism and violent extremism, as well as the countries of the Gulf and the Arab countries. The government of the Republic of Djibouti, which remains very attached to good relations with the concerned Arab brothers countries, calls on the parties to resolve the issues by the dialogue and the cooperation between the Arab countries. In the national news, to Anab.
And at the presence of Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Hamad, the 40th meeting of the first regular session of the Parliament was held this Wednesday, 7th of June, in the Chamber of National Assembly. This meeting, which saw the participation of the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamal Mohammed, was focused on the review of the two projects of the law. Draft number 188 on ratification of the loan agreement to strengthening of skill in the health sector, and draft Law 192 on the regulation of the importance and the issue of aircraft traveling without a person on board. Taking into account the security situation prevailing in the region in the concern to protect the privacy of citizens, the introduction of control equipment at a distance should be reported in advance by the custom authorities. The President of the National Assembly has opened this working in introducing the test to be examined. Exchange and debate were then committed between the parliamentarian members of the executive on the importance and the scope of this test of law. The exchange has been fruitful. The concerned tests, which are to strengthen and develop the advantage of the human resource in the field of health with the training of medical specialists, paramedics, psychological staff and the likes. The Parliament then debate on the first experiment of legislation, the regulation of the import issue, the aircraft traveling without a person on board of drones. The Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamal Mohammed has in his speech intervened to explain and defend with the members of the Parliament the taxes submitted, and they will be issued only on presentation of a certificate of registration. The overview of some sites classified sensitive areas priorities will be regulated, has concluded the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister also conducted this morning the restoration of distinguished a superior Italian office of Cabaretier. The General Tullius Duced has been evaluated the rank of the officer of the National Order on 27 June. The ceremony presentation of the medal was held in the presence of the Director General of the National Police, Colonel Abdullahi Abdi Farah, and the General of the Somali Police, Abdul Karim Dahir Said. The force of the Caribbean in the sense time the police and security force Somali was the coaching sequence of the event occurred. This training program takes place at the Police Academy Idris Farah Bane in Nagad. More than 3,000 police officers has been trained to this day on the national soil.
The Minister of the Interior and Decentralization, Hassan Omar Burhan, has chaired this morning in the Court of Honor of the Police Academy Idris Farah Bane a graduation ceremony that was the culmination of a tactical training for a period of 3 months for some 169 Somali police. Upon his arrival, the minister has been welcomed by the Director General of the National Police, Colonel Abdullah Abdi, to the side of his peers, Somali and Italian, Abdul Hakim, General Dahir, and General Tullio Disset. They have reviewed the Somali troops trained at the Academy Idris Farah in front of the flags of the three nations, Somalia, Italy, and Djibouti. After 3 months of intense work, technical training and tactics is closed this morning within the Academy of Police Idris Farah Bani, located in Nagad. Throughout this training, the participants have benefited from a high-level management provided by the Italian Carabinieri. The objective of this training was to enable the participants to have the necessary knowledge of various areas such as the control of the territory, the maintenance of public order, the techniques of the judicial police and sciences, the protection of the environment, and importance of personalities.
Alla presenza del signor comandante Rale Abdulhakim Daoud Saoudi hanno impegnato fianco a fianco Abdullahi Abdul Farah.
La cérémonie d'aujourd'hui se comptait du commandant de la
The ceremony was notably punctuated with several speeches. First, the address of the General Tullio Disset, in which he indicated his satisfaction to see the 7th promotion of Somalian police officers showing daily commitment and willingness to learn through their training. As the General of the Somali Police, Abdul Hakim Dahir thanks Colonel Abdullah Abdi Farah and General Tullio for their cooperation. I consider this a very important occasion, since it was allowed to be witness to commitment that the Army of Rifle put at the service of the development of Somali police. I am now able to appreciate personally the result obtained by the training personnel during the 3 months. This is the result of dedication, high professional concern, and the cabarian that these last few months, say the Senior Office of Somalia.
And on his side, Colonel Abdullah Abdi has urged the Somali police officers to be patient, courageous, and determined to make sacrifices to ensure the maintenance of order and the safety of their nation. Everything now depends on your actions, he has insisted. It is up to you to make disappear the hatred of the heart of the Somalis, to restore the solidarity and the love between your brothers and sisters. Good luck, and God watch over you and your country.
Then the Somali police have performed demonstration of accurate during the 3 months of training. The necessary knowledge in the various areas, such as the contour of the territory, the maintenance of public order, the technique of judicial police, and scientific protection of the environment and the important personality. The officers present have been satisfied with the capacity of Somalian Force Training and Academy Idris Farah Habane by the Carabinieri. This ceremony was ended by a graduate which represent at the end of the cycle for the participation, but also a distinguished Italian officer who had been elevated the rank of the Knight of the National Order on 2027 June.
The Minister of Energy has received in his office the ambassador of the Russian Federation for a courtesy visit today. The ambassador has thanked the minister in this blessed month, which is a very important month for all Muslims. He said it is a period of very responsible in prayer for the Muslim. He said he is very pleased to share this fervor of the month of Ramadan. He qualified this meeting as a gift of God. On its side, the minister welcomed the ambassador and that it's prepared to accommodate him in his cabinet. The minister wants to put in place a relationship based on trust and friendship between the two countries. The ambassador responded to this expectation in a positive way. He indicated that Russia has worked since always to develop a friendly relationship with its partners. You recall that in March 2018 it will be the anniversary of 4 years of bilateral relations with the Republic of Djibouti. The Russian Federation is proud to have formed a good number of students Djiboutians who are now executives in different areas.
Like the world, the Republic of Djibouti has celebrated yesterday evening around collective iftar, the World Days of Environment at the Sheraton Hotel. The ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Environment, Mr. Moussa Mohamed, in the presence of the new representative of the UNIDF in Djibouti. The slogan chosen this year for the term "Bring people together closer to the nature." He invited each of the citizens of the world to get closer to the nature to respond effectively to the appeal for the protection of the land on which the human being. Our country rich in marine and terrestrial biodiversity, concealed treasure in each sector, which the Franco land of the day, the Bira of Dasamo, the plum of Bakole, which shack of Arta, but this rich biodiversity is threatened through an inappropriate action of humans.
The Minister of the Environment, Mr. Ahmed Mohamed, has indicated that in the face of these challenges, our country favors the mastery of the green economy and seeks to preserve the biodiversity on earth, air and sea. I therefore urge you, he has indicated, to act now to adopt an ecological behavior, because the protection of our natural heritage is the matter of all of us, he said. Consequently, and on the occasion of the celebration of the 40th anniversary of our independence, we renew our commitment in favor of the protection of our environment.
The Minister Delegated responsible for decentralization, Mr. Hamadou Mohamed Arames, has received today in his cabinet a mission of experts of International Association of Francophone Mayors, composed of the Alain Coversin and Florence Kaku P. This mission stayed to Djibouti to formulate a project in order to support the decentralization, the benefit of the Town Hall of Djibouti and the House of Commons founded by the European Union. In receiving the mission, Minister Aramas has estimated that this capacity building project of the Town Hall of the House of Commons that will have to formulate his department attach importance of this pen in framework of the road maps. He informed then the mission of the importance that the head of the state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, attached the process of decentralization, where the creation of a department dedicated to this important reform of the state in the government of the third mandate.
And for the blessed month of Ramadan, the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training has organized yesterday evening a collective iftar at the Corniche for the benefit of the family of the education. This iftar, who intervenes in the 12th day of the blessed month of Ramadan, has seen the participation of many personalities. Also have taken part in this iftar executives and teachers of the department who have shared this moment of communion around this iftar, which is done each year in the department and which constitutes an opportunity to attach between the frames and teachers around this collective breaking fast. After the prayer of Maghrib, the national anthem intones marking the celebration of the 40th anniversary of our independence, which coincided with the blessed month of Ramadan this year.
On his side, the Minister of National Education, Mr. Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, has in his speech during the after dinner highlighting the value of the blessed month, which constitutes for each of us a moment of awareness, and we have calling into question our failure and shortcoming in privacy life, but also professional, he said. In addition, he recalled that this month coinciding with the period of the exam at the end of the year and he argued to each other, and especially the administration responsible to review those who of thousands of students is dependent on accuracy and reliability of this evaluation and work.
In like the capital, the celebration of the 6th June 2017 has been also held in Tijora. It is early in the morning of 6th June that this ceremony began at Tijora under the ballot of the leader of the body, the Lieutenant Colonel Mr. Shahim Daoud, and the prefect of the region Abdul Malik Boneta, and local elected. After a review of the troops and remnants to the flag, the agenda of the Major General of the Army Forces has been the chief of the party. It is finally in the ceremony of the marchers of the Army Forces that a wreath of flowers was removed to the Monument of Martyrs.
Officiers, sous-officiers et militaires du rang. L'anniversaire de notre armée est l'occasion pour nous de...
يستبشرون بنعمة من الله وفضل وأن الله لا يضيع أجر المؤمنين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا.
Finally, to close the ceremony of June 6 in Tachora, the troops of Riyadh have solemnly paraded in front of the public and have also proposed song and dance reflecting the patriotism.
It is early in the morning of 6th June that the same ceremony of 6th June, that the ceremony began in Al-Sabih, and the festivity of 6th June 40th anniversary. The Chief of Corps Lieutenant Colonel Abdul Zab bin Muhammad and the Prefect of the region Muhammad Waberi, the President of the Regional Council Usman Ahmed, as well as of many personalities and local elected and the honorary member have taken part in the ceremony. In memory of the troops, fields of honor and the leader of the body and the prefect of the region have lit a wreath of flowers for the martyrs and read the Fatiha. And finally, the troops marched in a military guard well organized.
It is early in the morning of 6 June that a ceremony began at Arta. The festivity of 6 June, the 40th anniversary, has it arrived. The chief of the corps, Lieutenant Ibrahim, after review of the troops, in the memory of the troops of the field of the honor, have laid a wreath and flower of the memory of the martyrs. They were present the prefect of the region, Abdullahi Okir, the president of the council of the regional, the notable Arta and Wea.
We're now moving on to international news with the World Cup Qatar 2022 threatened by the diplomatic crisis to the Gulf, the holding of the World Cup 2022 in Qatar could be challenged. The diplomatic crisis which shakes the Gulf region can cause the loss of the rich oil emirate organization of this event, already very criticized for the poor conditions of the workers on the site linked to the World Cup. A new case has just done the image of the Qatar. In effect, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Egypt and Yemen have announced that they had broken all ties with Qatar on the grounds that Doha supported the extremist group which are ramped in the region. A few hours after these announcements, experts have warned against potential threats on the world. In a press release published on Monday, the FIFA has stated that it was in regular contact with the organization coming to Qatar 2022 and kept over any comments for the moment. The first consequences of this diplomatic crisis, the football club Saudi Arabia Al Ahly announced the end of the sponsorship contract between the team of Qatar Airways. And that is for tonight's news. Thanks for joining us in RTD and have a great night.